Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Most people completely jump into government contracting fully blind. They spend months looking for a contract that they will never win, writing bad proposals and missing easy opportunities. If I had to start from scratch today, I would not waste time. And I would follow these 5 key steps to start winning contracts faster. And trust me, this will save you a lot of time. So let's get to it. So when I was preparing for this video, I asked myself, what is the biggest mistake people make? And that is they try to bid on everything. I'd start by picking a lane, and there are 3 smart ways to get started. First, if I don't have past performances, I would contract and I would collaborate with a prime company and learn the ropes from them. The second type of work is selling services. So if I have no experience and if I don't have a specific skill, I would look into selling a service. Since the government buys everything from IT to janitorial services, the government needs everything, and you can find a lot of services that you can sell to the government. And with the third, we have prime contracting later. So I'd only go for this once I have some experience, maybe my first or second past performance. I would go for prime contracting, and instead of bidding randomly, focus on contracts where I actually have an advantage. And as I'm saying here, the biggest mistake people make is that they bid on contracts that they're not qualified for. So make sure you're just not bidding randomly to everything and anything, because that will get you nowhere and that will be very discouraging. For the second step, building relationships instead of just bidding blindly. Here's a secret no one tells you. Winning contracts is not just about who you are, but it's also who knows who you are. Most beginners think it's all about proposals, which proposals are a big part of it, and we'll get to that later. But it's also, if I was starting today, I would network so hard and get my name out there. How do you network, you might ask? This is what we have here. Try to build contacts as much as possible. Don't be afraid to reach out to whoever you find, whether it's on social media, whether you're attending events, but attending industry days and procurement conferences. There are so many. You can always go on Google and look up for government contracting procurement events, and you will find and go out there, introduce yourself. Don't be shy to put yourself out there, because that will benefit you so much in the long run. And there are so many that are going there just to do that, and there are so many that went there to exactly do that. The second thing is, as I mentioned, cold emailing or cold reaching out. Whether it's you want to put your value out there or whether you just want to introduce yourself, it's also very important. Get your name familiar with the departments you want to work with and that are ideal for you. Last thing last, with networking, responding to source out notices to get your name out there and get your name on their radar. That way they know who you are when you're responding to these out notices. And this is how you get inside info on upcoming opportunities before they even hit the market. So you might hear a lot of people say that, oh, I've heard about this opportunity, so I prepared myself before it dropped. Well, that's connections. Someone let them know about it. And as I said earlier, proposals are indeed very important. Bad proposals lose contract, even if you're the best company for the job. Unfortunately, if you don't know how to sell yourself, you don't have the best business in the government's eye. So I would focus on the technical approach, on how you will do the work, and I would focus on past performances. If I don't have any, again, I would team up with a prime and use theirs. And lastly, your pricing strategy. So unfortunately, I can't give you that. You would have to do your research on every contract for the pricing strategy. My advice is, if you're starting, be competitive, don't be profitable. And I'd focus on writing these very clearly and have your proposal very competing by nailing these 3 sections. If you get the price strategy right, if you write down about your past performances, and if you explain how you'll do your technical approach very clearly, you have a clean proposal. And that will elevate your odds and chances of winning the contract by a lot. For the 4th step, if I qualify for a small business certification, I would fully take advantage of it. And I have made a video on how to find set-asides. I'll leave the link up there. The government reserves billions of dollars for small businesses, minority-owned, veteran-owned, and disadvantaged businesses. If I was eligible, I would skip competing with the big dogs and go for set-asides and sole source contracts. Finding these contracts is way easier with filtering when you know where to look, but it's also easier to win them since they are set aside by the government for small businesses. So look into small business qualifications, look into set asides in which one you qualify for, and try to filter your search results and bid on these contracts. Last and not least, use the right tool to find contracts faster. Unfortunately, when you're first starting, there's so much to learn. It can get very overwhelming. And here's where most people waste time actually. They dig through hundreds of contracts manually, missing deadlines, spending hours just trying to find the right opportunity, when you can use a tool, or you can use some sort of tools that will speed up the whole process, whether finding the contract, getting alerted on contracts, generate proposals with the help of AI, and track federal and state contracts all in one place. And I will show you a tool that I've spoke about before called SamSearch, and we'll show you how you can speed up the process by a lot by working with that tool. So first thing first, the search is semantic. What that means is that you don't have to use a specific keyword or a specific next code to search for a contract. You can simply just search using sentences. And over here, you can filter whether you want a federal contract, a state, grants, or SBIR and STTRS. And as I mentioned earlier, you can go on here and you can filter out the set aside codes based on which one you have. So let's do, for example, women-owned small businesses. So now that we have active only contracts and we selected our set aside code, we can go on here and let's say look for a cybersecurity contract. And now that we search, we will find a list of all the results. We get a quick summary of what the contract is about, and we have all the tags here at the bottom. But let's select it. We'll have all the information related to the contract right here, and we can summarize any of these attachments very quickly. From over here, we can ask the contract and chat with the contract as much as we want. Ask it questions, ask it about the pricing strategy. And from here, we can generate a proposal by simply generating an outline. And then after generating an outline, you grab all the information you have from your profile and leverage your past performances and all that stuff to generate a contract. So now that the outline is generated successfully, we can go through it, edit it if we need to edit it, and then generate a proposal for it. And it's just gonna go on and write information for your proposal. The second feature is that you can set up alerts and you schedule bid alerts. Now over here, you can set specific queries, and with those queries, you will get emails with the top contracts that match the query straight to your email based off the frequency you select. So let's say for catering food deliveries, we have it daily, but we can also add another query and have it for weekly, and we can add a third query and have it for monthly, etc., etc. Just so you can always be aware of all the contracts that are being published. And fun fact, over 10,000 contracts are being published every single day. So it's impossible to keep track of everything. So you would want an alerting tool that is customized to your needs to find these contracts. Essentially, if I was starting government contracting, these 5 steps make sure I'm not wasting any time and I'm not putting my effort into useless methods that are going to get me nowhere, rather than focus on steps that will actually direct me to the right path to win my first contract. With that, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, and you can try out the tool SamSearch for free. You have 7 days to take a look and see how you can make the most out of AI helping you. And happy bidding.